Okay, let's start. My name is Bartłomiej Kuczyński. I came here from Wrocław, so it's not so long trip. And today we'll talk about the clearing system, but it's just an example, of course, and JLupin platform. This is my new toy. So the first thing to understand why we have a JLupin, why they looks like they looks, we need to know a little bit about the history. Who knows this type of the code? Who wrote Java here, by the way? Okay, 1, 2, 3, more of you. Okay, what is it? Yes, 2.1. Yes, this is a remote bean, and this is a local bean. Yes. The question is when we should use remote and when we should use local beans in an AJB architecture. Oh. Yeah, exactly. And this is something that I don't know. Technically, I don't know when. You don't know too when, because we don't know the context. Yes. The most difficult part as an architect in the AJB world was to recognize which beans at the beginning, which part of your system should be local, which should be remote. And this is a fundamental issue, yes? Because we go to our business and say, we will use this technology and the AJB, it was great. They say, okay, because it was very, very nice, trendy. But the question is, okay, which part I need to put, which part I can put on the same machine, which part I need to reserve new machine, how to connect them. Connection is a little bit easier because we have RMI. So the solution is very simple, make everything remote. Yes? You lost some of the elements of the local beans, so all the calls goes through the remote call, yes, but you don't have a problem which bean is what type. Yes, everything is remote, always. Okay, if everything is remote, then we could say, okay, if you complain some interface, if you're okay with that, you could write this in any language. Yes, and this is how the service-oriented architecture began years ago. They use a very bad thing. They use the XMLs and WSDLs and SOAP. Yes. Nowadays I still work in the company that used that kind of the software, and it was okay. But every change that you would like to put to the system is very difficult. Yes. You need to call to all project managers, say, okay, we will change the one WSDL, be prepared for that. Yeah. Nowadays we have a JSON. We just say, okay, this is new model, dynamic, weak typed. Yes. So if you don't understand, it's your problem, not mine. Okay. Let's go through the time today, and let's create the very simple application. Let's think about that. We have a very, very simple bank. Last 12, 13 years, I made the banks, in most. Okay, so we have some GUI. Yes, I don't want to talk about that. We have some REST API because it's a modern bank. Yes, it's almost Revolut. Then we have our domains, some customers, some accounts. Remember, the account, it's something different in bank, and you cannot connect account with the customer, by the way. It's tricky. You have a card, something completely different with the card issuers, MasterCard, Visa, Amex, everything. They live in something that we could call Jurassic Park. Yes, because it's a COBOL application in most cases with that beautiful text-based interfaces. What more? We have accountant, a special module that makes all the clearing. Yes, I will talk about that in a moment. Bill, it's a wrong name. It should be General Edgar. Yes, So the accountant tab, reconciliation that say, okay, from my side, I make this type of the transaction, and this is a value of this transaction. The sum is that, and other systems say, okay, we sent you a transaction. This list transaction, the value of this transaction was that, sum was that. If it's okay, it's okay. If it's not, then we have a place when we could find the bug. Yes, and this is why we could store money in the double, yes? Because we have a reconciliation. Don't do that, yes? Because quite better is to make everything good at the first time, not run the reconciliation procedure. And of course we have a clearing. In Poland is a KIR, Krajowa Izba Rozliczeniowa. They have Elixir, but there is much more system in Europe. In United States we have something similar, yes? We have a SEPA, we have a SorbNet, all of that. Okay, this is our application. Of course, it's very, very simple. In a real bank, probably you will get much more bricks, yes? Some fraud detection, some connection to some specific services, like, I don't know, Stack Exchange, whatever. But this is very similar to the bank that we create in this year at Lithuania. Very similar. I just dropped a few bricks that are not important. Okay, let's think about how to create the bank. Yes? We need the money, we need the correct person, but as a developer, I need my ID. So let's try to create the bank. And if I use a JLupin, I will show you that. It will be a lot of demo. Now, think. New project, JLupin platform. Two types of the projects, standard and three-layer project. Three-layer project, common MVC, yes? Some interface, some service layer, some data access layer. A standard project, 2 layers. Technically, but let's make it that. Group ID, something like this. Not important. Platform version, I would like to, where is my mouse? I would like to embed the platform here, and I will find it somewhere here. 4442, okay, this one. Next. And now, the JLupin asks us, okay, what type of the microservices you would like to create? Fun fact, have you ever think that the microservices could have different types? I don't talk about the different languages, but the different types, yes? If you take a look to your application, who uses microservices at production? Nobody. Yes, yes, finally. We removed that cancer. Yeah, because I said that cancer because in many installations I saw something like that. You have an old SOA architecture, yes, service-oriented architecture. And people go, replace the box called Enterprise Service Bus, drop them, put the Apache Kafka or something like this, and this is new. Yes, it doesn't work like this. This is the example of those architectures change. There is some guy on the last Spring One conference, they show how nowadays we change the architecture without changing the architecture. We just change the names in the boxes. Doesn't work like that. Okay, the servlet microservice in this case is our gateway, our access point to our application. If we think about the organization of the code, organization of the bricks, this goes to some kind DMZ, yes? The militarized zone of your network. Yes? This is a place that needs to be protected very hard. So let's call it REST API. Let's add them. And this is the next. And now, after that, we have our native microservices, the business logic, yes? Some elements of our process, yes? We don't need to protect them because nobody knows they exist. If you think about the Allegro, yes? How many microservices you could see, yes? What do you think? How many microservices they have?
700.
Yeah, you know, you know that. Yeah, 700, more or less. Yes, but we see just a few of them technically. So here is your business logic, and let's say customer. Okay, let's call it customer. That's all. Next, untitled. Okay, I will drop it because it's not important. Let's finish that. They start to think, new window, because I would like to back to the real version of this project. They think. They try to create something. Yeah, they create something. And this is our project. Maybe presentation mode will be good for that. Okay, let's go here. What we have here? In most cases, our project, if we start, looks quite nice, and the evolution of the code is very similar in many projects. First, we create something called util, yes? If you have a big enough code base, you have your own string util. It's not important that you have a string util from Apache Commons, Apache Strings, Google Guava, probably what's more, Wave, yes?
You need your own.
Yeah, you need your own, yes? It's not enough string utils. So you create something called utils. You create something called Pojo. This is the object that goes across your domains everywhere, yes? Maybe not customer, but there is, I don't know, the system identification number, yes? Something that we put to the client, and if someone say, okay, this is a client ID, and send it from one place in our system to completely different place, this is something that be always constant and always has the same format, yes? This is the value objects of our system, so they represent some business entities, that business values that never change the format, yes? What's more, the integration tests, okay, and our two sub-projects, REST API customer. Okay, JLupin platform were created by the guys from some big company, and they say, okay, all our projects looks the same. Let's make automation that create this stuff for us. So they create them. The REST API, our project is not this XML. It's a simple Spring Boot application. Yes. If you go to the, I don't know, to the Geekon, go to the YouTube, open the Geekon channel, and see the talks about the microservice platforms. All of those use some kind of Spring Boot like under the hood. Okay, Spring Boot. Who knows the Spring Boot? Who knows the Spring? Okay, you know how to use that, yes? Nothing special. Great. So you could start to code your business values, yes? Make a mess there. But this is not the only one thing that is important. The customer is better. We have two sub-projects, implementation and the interfaces. Thank you. So if I go to the big project, I start to code, yes? So what is the contract? The interface. Yes, this is the contract of my package, of my module. So if we think now, if we back a few slides and we think about that AJBs, they had two elements. First one was this extend AJB remote, local AJB remote, yes? And the second is the business interface, yes? Then in the AJB tree, we got the annotation, local or remote, that we annotate the interfaces, yes? Okay, so if we have an interface, and we talk with another systems via the interfaces, so the very nice solution is just give them interface jar, yes? This is my interface, and this is all the data transfer objects that I use, yes? This is something that we, in the old days, we called the WSDL, yes? The definition of the service and data structure. Nowadays, we have a JSON for that, and heteros specification, more or less, yes? Access point, and then they define how they look. We could use the Swagger for that, yes? They show the nice table, more or less nice table, with the endpoints, data structures, yes? But the difference is that the JSON is dynamic and weak typed. So I cannot be sure that if I read that JSON from the specification and I read that JSON from output, from some service, it will be matched, yes? XML, the WSDLs, was great because the XML is strong typed, yes? It's horrible to maintain, but it's quite good, yes? It's like a Java, it's horrible to maintain, yes? But you don't need to write a lot of tests just because what happened if I put string here? You cannot. Your compiler say, go home, programmer, you are drunk, yeah? Second part is just the implementation. Oh. Interfaces, nothing special. Two packages, interface, Pojo, everything. Implementation is just the simple Spring application. But this is a quite good old main class-based Java application, yes? The configuration. It's not that. Resources tests. Now, where I have this, I cannot see that. Here I have a configuration. Okay. Here I have the. Okay, this is my configuration. Yeah, that's all. Nothing special. Okay. One thing. I have my interfaces, but I would like to create the software in the fast way. Yes. The problem in Java is that we don't have nowadays. We still don't have tool like Rails. Yes. In pure Java, I don't talk about the Groovy where is the Grace. I don't talk about the Kotlin where there is something specific for Kotlin. I don't talk about the Scala with the magic. So I would like to just create the service and fill everything, yes? In the Spring, you have the Spring rule. So who knows the Spring rule? Nobody. Great. Next thing, go away. Quite good. So enable auto import, yeah? I will need that. So if I would like to create the interface and implementation for that, the JLupin gives me one very nice thing. Create new service. Customer. Yeah, they create the interface. Yes, this customer service. Let's create a simple method add string login, especially for you, string sword. Yeah, plain text, the best text. Yeah. You know that the Twitter stored the passwords in the plain text.
Yeah, and we dropped the soap.
Yeah. Go implement method. Whoops. Let's implement method. Yeah. Implement method. We have an implementation. Let's take a look where they create that. They create that here in the customer service imp. In the interfaces, we have interfaces. So, from my idea, it's very easy to create the software, yes? Even if it's a bank, yes? Opa. We set up project. We have the tooling for ID. Yes, it works only with IntelliJ. Why? Because people who create the JLupin say that our colleagues use the IntelliJ. We don't need the Eclipse. Yes? Yeah, it works for them. Yes. There is some plan to create the Eclipse plugin. It's not so difficult, I think. It's a Spring friendly, so if you know the Spring, you just jump in there with your knowledge and you're okay. You just need to learn how to set up the project. It's not so. I think everyone know how to set up the JLupin project now. Yes, install plugin. Who knows how to install plugin to IntelliJ? Almost everyone. Yes. Who is other IDE? Emacs, Vim. Okay, great. And it's Maven based, and this is a small problem because today we go in the direction when the Gradle will be a first choice of the new projects, but this Maven is quite good. It's good enough. It has one nice thing. You could go to the bank and say, you are in Maven, we are in Maven. No new tools, you don't need to learn anything. Okay, let's switch that up. Let's back to our application and let's think a moment how to call the stuff from my REST API, this is one microservice, into my customer microservice. In most cases, we have two ways to do that. First, REST API called the REST API of the another microservice. All the transport layer is HTTP. Yes, REST via HTTP, very modern, very fast. You could do this better. Okay, this is it. Now I would like to make small thing. I would like to go to my. This is a full code of this. I would like to go to the something called controller. Account controller, yes, and take a look. I have my account views. I have some method called create for the client. Yes, why not? And I have something like this. This is a create, update, delete account service. This is an interface that we create, blah blah blah, using a plugin. Yes, and now I would like to say my Spring to let's inject me this service, and I would like to use them. Okay, this is quite easy. Yes, I attach everything that I need to do here is to attach the account interfaces dependency to my project. Don't take a look, that is a JDD. And that's all, yes? Spring, in most cases, should match existing implementation to the code. But we don't have this existing implementation. It's a problem. Okay, let's go to the Spring configuration. And this Spring configuration is REST API Spring configuration. It's here. Chat customer, chat account service here. I use something called JLupin client util. This one here. And I generate remote using a delegator to the class something like this. What happened under the hood? And this is nice. Client util, go to the predefined node, the same machine by default, and say, okay, looking for the microservice call account and the something called account service. Do you have that? Yes, I have. Okay, I establish the connection, create the proxy around this interface that will send and get the responses from this microservice. This happens. This must be run on the platform. Yes, this is the only thing that the platform need here at this moment in our code, and this is only one place where your code contains the JLupin reference, technically. Yes? So if you don't like the JLupin, just drop this configuration, use your configuration. Yes? Or attach as a dependency the implementation jar. Yes? And that's all. You have a very nice monolith application. Yes? But this is a good type of the monolith because it's split it to the smaller parts out of box. They are separated. Okay, what's more I need? I need to go to this account service. I need to go to the implementation and say from this part, okay, this is the service, pure Java, pure Spring, and say, okay, I need to expose the service to the rest of the world. Say, okay, I have the service called that, Spring configuration, and this is just a simple list with the name of the bin. And this is only one thing that you need in your code, in the configuration to exposing your services. Very nice. Okay, how they communicate? Binary protocol. Yeah? It's nice. By the way, here we have a generator mode. One more time. So I could connect my services in many different ways, and they use the binary protocol, internal JLupin protocol, to communicate. It's a little bit faster, I think, than the REST over HTTP, yes? And very nice, pure Java way. I just use the interfaces, don't care about how they work under the hood. The best thing is that if you know how to handle Java serialization in your code, you could write the adapter that will communicate with the JLupin in any language. Yes? You only need to know how to handle serialization. Okay. JLupin does not contaminate the code with the references. They contaminate the configuration. Spring, if you use Spring, use this out-wired annotation. You take a code and you see this is a Spring. You could try to be modern and use @inject from Java X inject from CDI, yes, or use the XML if you like. In JLupin, no problem. Yes, the problem is that the whole configuration is string-based. So if you make a typo, then you know that on the runtime, yes, or in the integration test level because they cannot wake up and it doesn't work. Okay, demo 3 deployment. Deployment is quite easy because everything that you need to do to deploy the application is something like that. Go to the platform, start, and go to control sum. Okay, we are in the control. The thing, let's increase. We are in the control center, yes, of the platform. So microservice list is now it's no, yes, they cannot connect to the node. Node started everything. And now what happened? Node started, so JLupin started, and they take a look to the internal configuration and see all the microservices that they need to deploy. So they start this application one by one, as a separated system process. Yes, it's not like in the enterprise server where all beans work in the same machine and the separation is class loader based. No, it's separated on the system level. It's like in the Docker, yes? Without the Docker. We are better. No. And it's, of course, take a time. Yeah. Because they need to start. We are in the logs, so the microservice. This is a microservice log, which it's not important. Server log, main. -f microservice out. Okay, we see something that starts. So let's take a look for this. Ping, ping, click. Node is enabled. So the time that you need to start your system is equal to the time that you need to start all the processes. Yes, it's good. It's bad. If you use a micronode, you will be able to use the micronode in the next few weeks. Then the time is 26 milliseconds per microservice. It's very fast, I think. Try to do that with your Kubernetes, Mesos, etc. on your laptop. Okay, we start that stuff. So let's think. Okay, we have a Maven, so we are continuous delivery ready. Yes, just configure your Jenkins. The manual deployment is still possible because it's take a zip, go to your platform, upload it there, and say microservice start. So the question is, what is the JLupin? The answer is that we need to take a look to our infrastructure. Yes, we have our infrastructure, yes, hardware, etc. Some kind of the platform and our code. If we split it a little bit, we have a hardware, some kind of the virtualization, resource manager. Then we have our runtime, microservice platform, and then our microservices. So we are interested only with this brick, yes, technically. For all those bricks, we could hire the people, yes, in most cases DevOps, yes, or admins, or just buy the service, I don't know, cloud or something like that. If we would like to go to the product, hardware is hardware, virtualization is virtualization. We could say, okay, this is some kind of the cloud. Why not? Then we have Mesos, yes, to virtualize our resources. Docker, Kubernetes, Marathon, to make the orchestration of our stuff. Then we have a Netflix OS or Spring Boot with the Spring Cloud, yes, as a platform. Or we could use the JLupin, yes. Get a platform, put it on your virtual machine, some kind, or on the raw hardware. You don't have any problem, yes. You don't need all those people here. I like it. This is important from there's one more important thing here. In some kind of the institutions, you cannot go to the cloud, yes. Banks, insurance, these big institutions that process a lot of data, they really would like to be modern, yes? They would like to say, we use microservices, but they cannot, because they are not the cloud, yes? Even if you go there and say, there is a private cloud, no, it's a cloud, yes? There is no cloud, there is someone else's computer, yes, and we have these computers in our server room. So please give us the solution that works on these mainframes the best way, yes? It could work on the mainframe too. Okay, demo 4, maintenance. Maintenance of JLupin is a maintenance of everything, yes? You start the process, you kill the process, send mails, receiving emails, deleting emails, yeah? But the tricky part of this is that you could maintain all those stuff from this nice terminal by the list of all the microservices. Think. Okay, we have that. I have this web control. Let's say, local host. Secure, okay. Yes. They say I cannot be available. Edge balance control. Control? Yeah. Control. Yeah. Control. Okay. They think. Okay. If the login is admin, the password is
Admin.
yeah.
All right.
And now we have our nice, yes. The best thing, if you could have a cluster of that, they recognize all the nodes and show them there. No, and you have this access to the console. Still, yes. So if you like a console, if you are terminal human, then you write the commands. Yes, it's nice. I like it. This is thing that sell. Yes, for the non-technical guys, they see the nice picture. Okay. What's more? Let's think. By the way, I'm scared that it doesn't work here. But have I got the? No, I don't have this here. Okay, there is one more thing that I would like to show you. There is one more thing that I would like to show you. It's something like create customer flood. Let's say we are in operation mode. Yes, we are bank, and we cannot say to our clients, okay, from nowadays 1st p.m. to the tomorrow to the 3 p.m. we don't operate at all. Yes, this is quite common in our banks. Yeah. We like it, yes? It's a Saturday night fever, and you would like to buy a drink, and your card doesn't work. Quite good, yes? Okay, let's try to customer flood. Flood, and let's say 10,000. It's an identifier of the customer that we start. Okay, let's start to creating the customers. It's an infinite creation of the customers. Okay, I have my customer operating, yes. Now I would like to say, okay, I need to go with the new version of my customer to the production. This is my clients, they create accounts. If someone didn't create the account, they go to the Facebook, say, it doesn't work, yes? Let's try to do that. So mvn clean install -pl customer implementation or customers implementations. So the Maven say all this, yeah, they start to build that. Customer, yes. Compiling. Yes, they create the zip file and send them to the platform. Yes. And now they are restarting. They think. There is a lot of customers in this database. It's take a moment to load it into the memory. They are restarting. They restart. And a suggestion about something doesn't work? No, I like it. Yeah. On the Geekon, we have only one failure in this demo. Only one client fail. So it's possible to the fail client to fail the request, but there was a little bit different architecture when we restart some database service. Yes. So it's a hot code swap. It's quite nice thing. I think. Okay, let's go here. Let's back to our presentation, and let's say that we have a zero downtime. We have this web console, and we have in project configuration, because all the stuff that happens about the JLupin happens in the additional file configuration YAML. So all the ports, all the stuff. Okay, how those works? Yes, I upload the microservices. Process manager say me, okay, I have this zip. I say start microservice. Okay, we start process on the operating system level. This is a new instance. They say, okay, I'm started, I'm ready. Then we switch the routing in the edge balancer and in the manager, because other microservices now see new version, yes? And it's okay. This is an atomic operation in the memory. It's not nothing big. And then we send the SIG term to our old instance, and we wait. We catch this signal, and we wait until all the requests will proceed. Yes. If you would like to change the signal to the kill, you are welcome. Yes. By the way, this way to deployment, it's not good in the dev mode, because it's take a lot of time. In the dev mode, we use just the kill and start. Yes, so we don't have this switch routing element. We just kill the application and start new one. It's faster. Okay, other stuff, edge balancer. It's an Nginx built-in that wrap all the communication with the external world. Yes, technically there is 3 Nginx servers under the hood. They have a different responsibilities. Yes, JMX extractor. So if you would like to assign to the some jobs via JMX, or take a look to the internals of JLupin, yes, some internal status, you are welcome. And of course, reactive channels and queues. That's something new. It works, yes. You just install, and only thing that you need to do to make it work is to change the certificates under the hood. Yes, it's the same like in this web console, because they assign them. They need that certificate, so it's a self-signed certificate, and that's all. Any questions?
Okay, we don't have time for questions.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes.
But we start 5 minutes later.
Yeah, but
okay.
we have to go from the venue. So
okay.
Sorry.
So I have 10 minutes
yeah.
after the talk to answer the questions. Okay.
Yeah. So thank you all for coming, and this is the end of the second day and whole conference. And I hope we will see you at the next year and the next edition. So thank you very much.